Welcome to the Salt Circle Podcast. My name is Hank. With me, it's a new age of Ben.
That's very, very true.
A new
man.
Age of Ben.
I'm saltier. My wrists hurt a little bit more. I discovered fighters.
Gotta take you for a ride.
Yeah. I fucking... See, it's funny, because, like, since I started on Street Fighter 6, essentially, and, like, that's what I put, like, nearly 300 hours into or whatever. Now I'm like, all those songs are in my fucking brain. Hit that character slide. It's like, I've been a failure, I've been a success.
That's how it goes, yeah.
Yo, I'm tired of playing on the sidelines. Gotta make my own highlights. Make my own highlights. I'm right here. I started a podcast. Oh, man. Dude, fighting games are fun. They're like fun as hell.
They're good. They can be also pain. They
so-
can be pure pain.
Dude, they can fucking... Oh, it hurts. When you get within 5 points of a rank up and then you get beat down for like half an hour. Or, when you and your friend are both at like 0 health, but your health is more 0 than his, and you die. That's always a good one. I guess the background, we talked about Street Fighter 6 a fair bit in our best of 2023 video games episode. But just to very quickly recap my journey, decided to try out Street Fighter 6 because it had a demo. Tried it out on the fucking Steam Deck D-pad, which is a goddamn nightmare because like the down right input diagonal does not register unless you fucking really lay into it. But I was able to do it. I was doing the inputs, and for like fucking 20 years, that's why I never tried fighters, because I didn't get it when I was like 6 years old, and then for the next 20 years, I was like, well, if 6-year-old me can't do it, why would I be able to do it?
Turns out your dexterity does actually get better.
I mean, I don't even think it was a dexterity problem. It was like I looked at because I remember looking at the inputs in Soul Calibur 2. It was like technically my first traditional fighter. And I think, Soul Calibur doesn't necessarily have as many of the same motion inputs, I think, but you calling it quarter circles is what like fucking clicked my brain into how I should be making that motion.
Oh,
like I was starting to kind of get it, but like I just never encountered that. So when you're just looking at the arrow inputs in game, it's fucking ridiculous, you know? And then even like, because I had never arcades were a little before my time slightly, but even then I was in the middle of nowhere. So I'm looking at this like on my controller, and I'm looking at the arrows, and I'm not putting together that you're just doing the same quarter circle twice or whatever. To me, it's just like 6 fucking crazy inputs. This is impossible. But yeah, I got it on Street Fighter 6 because you said you were gonna go ham. I tried the demo. It worked on Steam Deck. It worked on me, and that was it. That's the last thing I fucking remember. Now I'm here. And that opened up like I got
blacked out, and then you're playing a fucking Jackie Chan fighting game.
Yeah. I woke up and it just through a haze. I see, is that 8 Jackie Chans in front of me? Yeah, dude. Because like Street Fighter, I think that feels like a very beginner friendly game. Like there's the training mode, the tutorials and shit. Like they walk you through so much.
All the modern conveniences.
Dude, and it's like, even compared to games that are even like a couple years old or whatever, like that game is still just above when it comes to like that quality of like the features and quality of life stuff. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's true.
So that was like that's very lucky, maybe. Like if you'd been into Strive or something, I don't know if that one would have taken. But yeah,
I mean, I
that
basically went in as ham on 5 as I did on 6, but 5 sucked. So 5 was like a bad time at launch. So
yeah. Oh, dude, and that's the thing. Like people bitch about 6, but like my understanding is as a launch patch, essentially, like it's incredible.
yeah, it's not like 4 is still probably the biggest since 2, because 4 like saved the entire genre by being good.
Oh yeah. Now looking into that,
Where fighting is, we're in a pretty good
Dark
spot
Eras.
with 6 coming out, even even
Yeah,
without like even with 5 being like shit, kind of at the top
But
of
I
the
think
competitive thing. Well, and also 5's been
like,
been
people
was okay for like its past year or whatever. It was they
yeah, I was
it's
gonna
the same
say,
team, and they
left
figured
on
it
an
out
alright
for
note.
in 5 first what they were doing.
But I'm also, I learned the classic controls, which, aside from transferring to other games, more importantly maybe, for me is like direct onboarding to the older Street Fighter games, and what a fucking time to be alive, because all of those games. I mean, we have like the 30th anniversary collection. There are free avenues, but as someone who generally likes going official when possible, like I picked up Street Fighter 4 for like $2. Like all these old ass games that are good are now cheap as hell because I've been on that waiting plan for 20 years. So that's been like great.
Yeah, going back to
And then,
cheap fighting games where you can get all the characters for not a lot is a great way to experience that stuff.
Yeah. The only one that whiffed so far was the way that Tekken 7 was set up. You had to you can't buy the base game and then do their upgrade shit. It comes in like a full package, but the way it's set up, I had to permanently remove the base game from my account and then buy the sauced version.
Great.
But whatever. It was still a cumulative $9
Sure.
or 13 or something. But yeah, man. Do you remember what was your first fighting game? Because you're old as hell.
My first fighting game, I'm not
your favorite, but your first that you can recall playing.
I'm really not sure, because my first was probably some fucking arcade game that I didn't play that much. I really don't know.
Well, yeah, but first, okay, what's
because the first one I owned as
whatever.
a thing I could play at home was Tekken 3. But I definitely had played Tekken 2 in an arcade.
Okay.
On or not in the arcade machine, because there weren't really arcades around. There would just be stray arcade machines, kind of.
Oh yeah, no, my arcade experience is whatever the local Pizza Hut had that year.
And I definitely played a lot of Marvel Superheroes, the arcade game, because I was super into Marvel Comics, so that one super appealed to me.
I mean, yeah.
I remember playing as Juggernaut, and this guy is huge. He's so big.
He's big. Dude, he is large as hell. Yeah. I mean, that's been kind of the I mean, it's a nice thing. Maybe not quite for me yet, but the potential, how easy it is to slot in an IP for a fighting game or whatever. It's maybe more fun to think about. What if there was a Rumiko Takahashi universe fighting game?
No,
that'd be great.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to their Ranma fighting game. There's a Ranma fighting game, at least one, but we haven't gotten there yet.
Yes.
There's probably an Inuyasha one.
There's technically, if you want to get technical, there's a Urusei Yatsura one.
Technically?
It's a game within a game, but it's like a fairly... It's not like a full fighter, but it's robust enough to like have fun with.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Someday I'll try to check it out, maybe. But yeah, dude. Also, like, I mean, for me, I know a lot of people, like, I've been talking to a lot of people. I joined the fighting game Discord, which has been great. Fun little community. And the thing that I've, like, gotten kind of turned on to is, that I'd never encountered, is because obviously the people here are playing, like, tons of fighters, right? And specifically Street Fighter. People will just be like, yo, and they'll hit up somebody, like, in the chat, and they'll just be like, first to 5? Like, yeah, all right. And you do a first to 5, and that's it. Like, that's your little, quick thing. And I did it a couple of times. I'm like, this is fucking amazing. Like, that's like the time slot that I need for games. Like, I get my little first to 5. It's like 2 minutes or whatever, and then I'm done.
Sure.
That's kind of amazing for my life situation. Marriage. So, yeah, man, it's just been like and like you're super into fighting games, obviously. Now we have so many things to play.
Yeah, because my favorite way to experience fighters is just like jamming through characters with a friend. Like the getting serious part. Yeah. It's not that fun. Like there's a payoff to it, but it's a lot of work. Really. So
no, I've
done it with, like, I did it with Third Strike, mostly because playing that game with my friends was just getting my teeth kicked in fucking over and over and over and over again. It was like I had played plenty of fighting games, but playing that one against and they were like ahead of me, and I like couldn't do moves. It was just like I had to learn how to walk all over again. It was hard.
Yeah, man.
But I eventually got there.
Yeah. I mean, I'll springboard off of that and repeat. This was again brought up in the video games 2023 thing, but just in case. Favorite fucking memory of 2023 and like an all-time gaming moment for me was me and you doing 100 goddamn sets. And me going 0, just getting fucking wrecked, and you having to find ways to keep yourself like entertained.
Yeah,
fucking run. You timed my ass out for a round. I don't even know what you all did. You did like only light punches or something.
Yeah.
Like you were like really going ham, and I'm just sitting here, and I was having a good time, like because we were shooting the shit and whatever else, but like. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking learn. Like, I'm gonna beat Hank's ass.
Hell yeah!
And I came back, and I was like an actual threat. Like, you couldn't just fuck around. I mean, you still beat me pretty handily, but like,
yeah,
you couldn't time my ass out.
I had to play the video game.
you actually had to participate in the match. And I was like, that was such a high, and I was locked in. Like, that was it.
Yeah.
But then, like, that's probably why I've gotten serious about Street Fighter 6, because, like, that's where I was starting and learning on, so it just progressed naturally.
Yeah, for sure.
I wouldn't want to do a second one at the same time. Fuck that. I can't imagine.
Yeah, it's hard. Because at a certain point, you're trying to, like, really get in on the minutia of the system mechanics of that game. And like the timings of all the different things. Like there's a thing that happens where you play one of those, like really any game, you play it enough and like you start seeing the frame data. Like you can see the video game better because you've just looked at it for so long.
Oh, totally.
And that experience is pretty incredible, but it takes a lot of time. You have to play the same game for a lot to get there.
Oh yeah. No, and it's super rewarding. Like it's been I don't regret like shoving that time into Street Fighter 6 at all, cuz like that's it's just a thing that I don't get to experience from other games, you know?
Sure.
Like unless like I think I forget if I made the comparison to you or not, but like the only thing where I could get like the exact sort of satisfaction and progression that I could get from like Street Fighter or a 1v1 fighting game is like fucking picking up boxing. Like there's not really much else I could, like you're looking for your opponent's weakness. How does your opponent play?
Yeah.
How do I play? What are my strengths and like all that shit? And like you're not getting that.
There are other videos. There's you could get there for playing StarCraft.
Go on. No, I'm
saying
I lift heavy shit. I don't think ahead. That's maybe why I'm okay at it. I'm not thinking ahead. I'm just brain empty.
I mean, you could play at RTS that way, but yeah.
I do. It doesn't. Oh man.
And like I mean, playing like a Dark Souls, like there's a similarity in terms of like learning a game's systems and then being able to execute on that. Like it doesn't have the thrill of fighting another human being, but there are elements to that, and like speed running. I would put in that category too. In terms of like just staring at a video game till you can fucking see the Matrix.
Yeah, man. No, speedrunning is a good, because I've been there a little bit just with like levels, like certain levels. I've never sat through it like a whole game, but it's a good time.
Yeah.
My controller gets real sweaty in those ones. That's like my next step. I really want to get like a stick and maybe like an official, like a kind of leverless, but I want to try a stick. It seems very fun.
Yeah. My eternal struggle is like the games that I like to zone out in then are like competitive multiplayer games where also I was just like, there's a little too much getting my face stomped in sometimes for my enjoyment level. It's frustrating. But I just don't it takes more of a particular type of mood for me to just jam a single player game. It's like a focus. When I play a single player game that heavily, it's really focused. And like I go in hard, but then I'm done and I finish it. I feel like these days. Yeah. So it's kind of a different thing.
Yeah, man.
Or walk away.
I mean, I'm
like I went hard into like I started playing Dark Souls and then I just stopped or whatever.
Sure. Well, yeah, I feel that for Dark Souls.
That one was just other stuff. That was just other stuff came up.
Yeah,
that game's amazing.
Mine was more like I'm sick of being miserable.
No, because it wasn't even like I was stuck. It was like I'd beaten the last boss. The same thing happened with it's what happened with Armored Core 6, where I beat the hard boss, but then just other stuff came up.
You were like, yeah. No, that's yeah, the learning process in those games I don't find quite as fun. Maybe because like it's like a one-sided thing, right? Like you couldn't hop in Dark Souls and be like, all right, I'm gonna kick your ass until you figure shit out.
I mean, you could. Like, those games do have multiplayer, but yeah, I don't think that's the interesting part about them.
No. Not to me anyway. I mean, I can see the appeal in fucking invading somebody's world, being a monster. Like,
it's definitely a thing. It's
That
definitely
makes
there.
sense. Oh,
I just
totally.
haven't really engaged with it. I invaded a couple people in Elden Ring, but I didn't stick with it.
Someone invaded me and Ty were playing multiplayer once, and someone invaded his world, and they were in a rough spot because there was two of us, and we were already like ready.
Hell yeah!
Like we were already amped up, and we just beat the shit out of them.
Hell yeah, that's great.
Yeah, no, it was really fun. Isn't am I misremembering? Is it Project L that has like it's like a 2v2? Do you know? That's coming out, the 2v2 fighter. Or is it I can't remember if it's a tag fighter or if it's literally two people
I don't know.
could play. Maybe it was a different one.
I mean,
Like
Street
like an
Fighter's
indie
done
game or something.
the ability where you could play 2v1 versus the AI, but
Right. Which one was that?
like Hyper
one
Street
of the
Fighting 2.
older-
It's like the
Right.
it's on the Switch version of it. That was like
Oh right,
that was like $40. But there was a
Dude.
I think there was like a 360 PS3 era version of that game that might have had that, but I'm not sure it had that. I think it had that function.
I do think it's funny that the Switch version is apparently the most like balanced and feature complete.
Yeah, but
But it's just on its own as a $40
because it was
game.
released alone as a $40 game.
That's fucking ridiculous. What's your price? What's your buy-in price for that on Switch? A single game.
Street Fighter 2.
That exact game. What's your what's your
I mean, pretty
trigger price?
like I don't know, $10. But I know I have someone to play that stuff with.
Yeah, like if it were $10 and you were getting
Yeah.
it, I would you
Yeah.
know, like I would pull that trigger with you.
Whatever.
If it was just me, like maybe like $3.
Yeah. Whatever my friend convinced when I bought the 3DS version of Street Fighter 4 because my friend was getting it.
Dude, I kind of wish I had that now.
That version's
should
hilarious
see.
because
It's
like
probably
you can
not-
you map like 4 things to the touchscreen.
Yeah.
You just press the
can
touchscreen
map
to do
supers.
your ult.
It's just fucking modern controls.
Yeah.
But on a touch screen.
Uh-huh. It's pretty funny.
No, I was reading about it and I'm like, obviously I saw it all around and I think I didn't own it. But it would always go on sale, right? Especially when it was older.
Yeah.
And I never pulled the trigger because why the hell would I?
Yeah.
But now I'm like, shit. That would have been fun.
Mm-hmm.
Funny. I don't even think we could play online anymore. I think 3DS servers are like shot.
There's probably
part of the
some
Wii-
fan
the Wii
hack to
channel
do
thing.
it, but
Oh, I'm sure.
it's probably
There's a
easier
lot-
on
I don't know if you
emulator
saw
than
it.
on hardware.
Yeah. Dude, someone made a rollback mod for Ultra Street Fighter 4
Amazing.
on PC. Yeah. I think that shit's hilarious. Like rollback specifically, just like every
Yeah.
fucking fan group is like, fine, I'll do it myself.
Well, that's where it came from. It came from
Did it?
Yeah, it basically came from the Fightcade people. Like they made it for that, and then like
I didn't know they fucking made it for that. That's insane.
yeah, and then like it showed up in that online edition of Third Strike and stuff. But I'm pretty sure like Fightcade was where it started.
That's ridiculous. Holy shit.
Because they were solving a problem that no other
yeah,
game like needed
that's
to solve.
amazing, though.
And no, obviously
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
and like all these companies that make these games have been slow even to pick it up, even when the tool is there, right?
Oh, I've noticed. That's like my only worry about like like Tekken 8 comes out in a couple days as of recording.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard its netcode isn't like incredible.
Well, it's not rollback,
but it's not rollback.
Yeah.
No. But like, as long as it's, because like we played 7 a bit while I was in Armenia even.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, I remember that. I mean, aside from the shit loading times, I remember the fighting being okay.
Yeah. It seemed
like,
okay.
yeah, no, for competitive, those people, the most fucking,
because like the
biased group towards Wi-Fi players I've ever seen in my life.
Well, that makes sense.
Fighting game fans.
That makes sense. You can have you have some real bad times, and you're like, fuck this.
Dude, they're so fucking mean about it, though. Like, they're super mean.
Yeah, because they don't want to get paired up against you randomly.
They don't have to. Street Fighter 6 has a thing where you can filter out.
Well,
it lets you like view your opponent's connection first, and then you can fucking screen them.
Yeah. Look, sometimes people be fucking mad.
That's true. I mean, I guess that's I missed the good segue, but this is an okay segue. I wish I reevaluated my position on modern controls a little bit. I wish I could screen them out.
Oh.
I was sitting and thinking about it because, like, I know they're a great thing for the game. They're a great addition for the game, and it's really good that they have them because it onboards a lot of people, and then maybe they want to learn classic controls or whatever. I think there's like a bell curve for how it feels playing against someone who's using modern controls. Because for me, if you recall, when I first started like trying ranked a little bit, it was miserable. Because I was literally at the stage of like, I'm learning how to do inputs. Like, I will whiff a fucking quarter circle like 50% of the time or more. And at that stage, just the other person being able to hit a button and get their move consistently, insane. Like, that was an insane power up for those super early days. And then as I got a little farther into it, it didn't, if anything, I was laughing at them because like they have a damage reduction.
Yeah.
So yes. Someone would bust a level 3 super and I'd be like, you wouldn't killed if you were on classic, bud. Sorry. Yeah. And then I turn around and win. But then you get to like the higher levels, like I'm Plat 5 now. Diamond modern players are like scary because they have good game sense and shit, but also they have instant reactions.
Yeah.
And it's a little rough because like I still don't get everything right. You know, I'll drop a combo or whatever. And it just, I don't know. It's probably not a problem.
I think
overall,
it's not a problem.
Like,
you just have to put it out of your head and just
it still
fight
feels
against the way they're doing it, that they're kind of doing a different thing.
Why can't I filter them though? Would that be so harmful? You know,
probably. That's like splitting the player base. But yeah,
you leave the filter off by default, and then like people won't care, and then the people who do care can turn it on.
Yeah, but then the people that leave it on are going to get against modern controls so much more often. It would be bad. It would be worse, I think.
I don't know. That's just it's one of those things where like I have the feeling, but I don't have the solution, obviously, because that's not my job.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's not.
Look, the answer is just fucking get better and kick their ass.
God damn it! I don't like that solution.
The only way forward.
The worst one, the one where it really
quit
really comes out is
never try again.
Boo. Yeah, just give up. Classic.
Yeah, that's what I did.
The one where it feels bad is Zangief. That, you know, his whole shtick is that his inputs are difficult and he's kind of slow.
They're not that
but
difficult.
He does a shitload of damage. They're more
Having
difficult.
messed around with Zangief in that game, they're not that difficult. And they
Fuck
deal so
you.
much more damage if you're not playing modern controls.
Okay, see, that's maybe my solution is give modern like a tiny bit more of a damage nerf or individually, because Zangief still 3-hit taps in modern, and that's kind of ridiculous. For him getting one button shit, like that's wild. That's a lot. I mean, he does a lot normally, but like he does enough that the default reduction is not enough to like make it a reduction practically.
Yeah, but you kind of just have to fucking figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, look, Zangief is one of my better matches. I fuck him up repeatedly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Everybody in my home region plays Zangief. I don't know why, but I've gotten very used to that.
Sure.
But it's still just meh. But anyway, it's just how I was sitting and thinking about it.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, he's the Russian character, so.
I'm not in Russia, fucking.
But you're close enough for your region.
I would love to like know the reason specifically. I'll get a little specific. It's observational data. I'm not being weird about it. If I see somebody from Turkey, they're going to be playing Zangief, and there's like a 90% chance they're going to be on modern controls. I'm not saying anything about them. I'm just saying that's what I've
It's a
seen.
revenge
It's
for
kind
not
of wild.
being able to play Hakan.
I guess. It's like I'm not even like dumping on him, but like it's wild how consistent that is. I don't know, man. They just decided like that was the character. That's like the national Street Fighter 6 character, you know?
Yeah, it's because they don't have Hakan. The Turkish grappler is in Street Fighter 4, but hasn't been in 5.
Oh. I mean,
His mechanic was about oiling himself up.
Getting ready. Jesus. Man, that'd be funny. I kind of hope he comes to 6 now, because then it would be hilarious watching that instant transition.
Yeah. Like, there is a Turkish Street Fighter character. He's just not in the games anymore.
Look, we're waiting for the Armenian Street Fighter character. I don't even know what his shtick would be. This is getting me thinking. One major complaint I've had with Street Fighter now since I tried Tekken, the language thing, dude. Why don't they all speak their own language? It's so fucking cool in Tekken.
Yeah.
And then all the trailers for Tekken 8, it's so cool. It's such a neat thing.
Tekken hasn't done that for super long, I will say. I think they only started it with
But
Tekken
still.
Tag 2. But it is like once you have it, you're like, "Oh, this is the correct way to do this." It's
Because it's super fun.
yes.
You know?
Yes. No, I do wish Street Fighter had that for sure.
Yeah.
Because the funny thing is, I feel like part of the reason Tekken did it was their English voice acting was so bad. Well, they were like doing that, like it just didn't work.
Sure.
So
That was pretty funny.
or like for whatever reason, like even in 7, like the narrator who talks in English, it's fucking awful. It's like the worst fucking performance I've ever heard. I hate it so much. It's so
funny.
fucking flat and robotic. It's bizarre.
I've been really enjoying the Soul Calibur 6 story modes, which like is funny because that franchise is like fucking. It was kind of digging its own grave, and I think 6 kind of brought it back a tiny bit because they decided to do like the story reset, get away from whatever shit people hated in 5, which to this day I don't really I wasn't part of 5 or the Vita port or whatever. Or
Yeah, I don't know.
Was it PSP or Vita? But they, it was kind of, they were like trying to save it a tiny bit, and they put in like a really good story mode, but they did not spend the budget on like cutscenes or anything. So it's literally just like 80 hours of like static images and voiceovers.
Yeah.
And I started with the English voices. I made it like an hour. That shit was rough.
Yeah. Well, I don't think the story stuff in Soul Calibur 2 was even good.
I think it was like fun though, or whatever, Like if people are
comparing it
to
Tekken, I would say no. It was like extremely lacking. Like there was fun stuff. There was fun. Weapon Master mode was fun as hell as like a single player thing to do. But the character stories were kind of fucking nothing.
See, I didn't play much of the single player in 2. Despite how much I played it, it was all playing with my brother.
Yeah.
I think I did like an arcade mode like once, and I did not get far.
And the thing with the Tekken, when like that their cutscene stuff was good, they were just like funny or exciting CG animations that they were not dialogue heavy.
Yeah.
They were visual when they worked.
Yeah. And I mean, it's funny. I haven't played through a ton of like story modes. I went through and did the arcades for like the 30th anniversary Street Fighter collection. And I've done an arcade story for Street Fighter 6 and like however much a world tour I did. The Street Fighter 6, the Soul Calibur 6 shit like blows it all out of the water.
Street Fighter's
like,
really
the writing.
Street Fighter's really bad at story stuff.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Arcade modes, like it's just not compelling.
I think I found 6 is fairly compelling. I would want to check out more of them before I say that they're like that as a general statement.
Sure.
But like I did Marisa's and hers I found very fun, and it had the important thing was that like you got like good art throughout it. And like a decent story of like her journey or whatever. But the character World Tour is like whatever.
And World Tour is like the best Street Fighter story has been in a Street Fighter game.
Great.
Like ever. So.
Yeah.
Partially because like, the older ones are sort of like, those are arcade first games. So.
Yeah.
There aren't story modes. There are maybe endings. Maybe.
Yeah.
And it's like a screen.
No, that's like going through the fucking man, what game was it? One of those games I went through is Cammy, I think. Because I got something about her like being brainwashed or something.
Yeah. There's this whole thing with M. Bison's dolls.
Yeah, and I was like, what the fuck? Like we're just glancing out. Okay. Oh, it's over. All right. Like that was a whole thing. I mean, Ryu's was like pretty straightforward,
Yeah. I'm gonna go get stronger.
Like Sakura's is. Yeah, he's just on that Goku shit. Like I get it. And see, that's what like Marisa's was too. Is like I'm just gonna fight people.
Yeah.
I still need to like look at some of the story stuff for Tekken 8.
Hell yeah.
I glanced at it, but I did not like watch all of it. That shit like, it doesn't come out tomorrow, but like the preload is tomorrow.
Yeah,
if
I saw the like
packing
I saw
done,
the
I can play it.
The thing, and it's like it comes out at like 5 p.m. or something EST.
Yeah, I thought it was like 5 p.m. Central, but I mean, either way, if I'm done packing, I could play it a little.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so funny because it's like it's not like the Tekken story is really that fucking deep, but also you could be easily completely fucking lost.
Yeah, no, I need to look back and maybe do a quick little once over. I don't know.
I mean,
how
there's also
soon I'll
because
get
there's
to
also
the
stuff in there
story
that's
either.
like is not canon, is like barely canon anymore because they basically don't want to think about it. Like Tekken 6's story is like it happened, but we're not gonna draw attention to
Yeah.
it because Jin was like a bad guy in that, and now Jin's a hero again. So kind of gonna gloss over what he did in 6 a little bit.
Yeah. No, I don't know how soon I would be getting to that anyway. I've not that I'm done with like Street Fighter 6, but it seems like my soft limit on like me going ham on a game is like 200 to 250-ish hours.
Sure.
Where I'll be able to fiend on something for that amount of time, and once I get around that period, I'm like, okay, I've cooled off a little. I got it out of my system. So I'm like, I'd probably finish the Soul Calibur 6 story first, just because I was in the middle of it.
Sure.
And that's like, I'm going through like all of the characters' stuff, like kind of piece by piece, like jumping around. That's a lot to keep in my head.
Yeah.
My head doesn't have room for much.
Yeah. That's fair. I mean, like the I would say the difference with Tekken is like it is kind of an ongoing thing where it is progressing from numbered game to numbered game, compared to like
Until they reboot.
yeah, it's eventually. Although they're committed just because like it's like a fucking record or whatever at this point. But like Street Fighter, it's like the games aren't even in fucking order.
Oh, dude, yeah, the fucking like what the alpha games are prequel to
two. Yeah, I think they take place after original Street Fighter, but before 2.
Oh yeah, that's very important because original Street Fighter has a lot of
There's so much story.
lot of stuff to focus on.
Sagat.
Shenlong.
Sagat.
What a fuck.
And then like 3 happens, but it doesn't do well. So then 4 takes place before 3 because they want to bring back the characters that are like dead or whatever. And then 5 is also before 3. I think 6 is finally after 3, but I don't even fucking remember.
No, I think 6 is like the latest chronological.
Yeah, I think 6 is after 3.
Because like Ryu has a fucking big ass beard and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I think
looking like a hobo.
Yeah, I think bearded Ryu was like a skin in 5 that really caught on the internet, went a little crazy for, so that had to be his default look now.
I mean, yeah, because like, fucking, I see other people.
Ken in 5, he banana hair.
Dude, his hair is fucking wild.
It's just like, yeah. It's constantly clipping through his shoulder. In 5.
Yeah, dude, I saw the Ed trailer or teaser, or whatever, for 6. That is an emo boy.
Oh yeah. Well, what's funny is how different he looks from how he looked in 5.
I don't even remember how he looked in 5.
He's not as thin. His face is more like, I don't know, generically Chadish in terms like.
Oh, dude, yeah. That's funny. It's
very funny to me.
He's got that fucking jaw.
Yeah.
Let me go to 6. Oh, someone did a comparison. Oh my god, they murdered him. How is this someone's calling it a glow up? How is this a glow up? I'm gonna link you this. This is too funny. The rare mid podcast thing. I mean, anyone else can go find it. If you just look up like Ed Street Fighter 6 verse 5.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would call it a glow up. They decimated his jawline is the main thing.
Yeah. They made him more of a twink.
Oh man. Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's a really not interesting. When I saw that was going to be the next character, I was like, I was really bored by it.
I mean, look, they wanted to charge $30 for Akuma, but they knew they couldn't just give you Akuma.
Where's
so
just give me Akuma, God. I would be so much happier if just Akuma were in that game.
I feel, I mean, my process for buying any of the characters stuff is apparently going to be like, is there anybody I care about in it? Because like I don't have enough of a attachment to Akuma to buy the first, like $30. If it was on sale for like 15, I would maybe pull that trigger.
Sure,
but like if the next one has like, I don't know.
I mean, my other thing is like Ed's a boxing character, and he's like the third. There are like 2 other boxing characters I'd rather have in this game than him. So,
Balrog and
Dudley.
Oh, I don't remember.
He's from Third Strike.
I mean, I'd like.
He's from 3.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
They kind of
I remember.
They kind of did him dirty in 4 because part of what's so good about him are his voice lines in 3, and they were not as good in 4. Once they added him, his lines in 3 are fucking incredible. All those voice clips are great. Let's fight like gentlemen.
Dude, the best line I've heard in a minute was
fucking taunt as he throws a rose at you.
I think that one I remember. I think you busted that out on me. I feel like you had to.
I don't think so. I don't think I could remember how to taunt. I don't remember.
Maybe I saw it in a thing. You not remembering doesn't mean shit.
That's true.
You'll throw me and then not know how to throw.
That's true. I'm a vibes-based gamer.
Man. Every damn time we get in a new game, I'm like, yo, how did you super? You're like, I don't know. Double quarter circle? Something?
Yeah. Look, I didn't learn these games by like looking at move lists. I learned them by moving my hands in ways that things happened.
I'm still
mashing
upset by the king of I'm still upset by the King of Fighters shit. Fucking half circle or quarter circle back, half circle forward. Ugh. I never would have. Everybody back in the day was like, we can't just copy the double quarter circle. It's like, no, you can. You can. It's not patented. Oh. Now I'll add it. I'll add it to the mashing repertoire. That and charge. Charge characters are like my worst enemy. I forget what we were playing, but I was like getting all huffed, and then I'm like, wait, is it a fucking charge character? And I tried a charge thing, and it worked.
Yeah.
And I was about ready. My soul left my body. Man. Damn, I was gonna say something. Dudley. Oh, right. I was gonna mention the fucking. Was it Garu Mark of the Wolves where it just said the Challenger?
I think so.
I think it was that one. That's such a fucking dumb good line.
Hell yeah.
Not new challenger, just the challenger.
God,
Love it.
that's the thing arcade games are great for. Is good fucking sounds. Just like memorable voice clips, because
Oh, dude, fucking
like the way
OG Street Fighter.
the way that shit just has to be fucking like honed to like just or like made to like elicit a response from people in the room to look at it.
yeah.
Oh yeah, the voice clips in fucking original Street Fighter are under fucking. Oh, I love them. They're so bad.
They're too good. They give me. Oh, they're so great.
They're amazing.
That game was. What a fucking wild game.
It's
so honest to God, no joke, easiest arcade mode. It's a fun because once you lock in to like do your fireball, you're fucking done. You've won. Like as soon as I was getting those consistently, when I was like seeing through the mashing, like I damn near swept that entire arcade mode. I don't think I had to use a continue until like the third to last fight.
Sure.
Like it was wild. I mean, then after that I needed like 40 of them, but you know.
That's not uncommon for fighting game arcade modes.
No, that one was still like the first.
I just mean that
the
like they
first
were
attempt.
ramping it up at the end.
Oh, no, it was my first attempt was pretty rough. But then when I tried again, like I came back to it the next day or something, I just swept. Just because like everybody gets two tapped by like the fireballs.
Yeah.
I mean, we played like that shit's ridiculous.
Yeah. No.
No, then like in 2, when I went through all like 30th anniversary, going through all the versions of 2, I was like, oh man,
Yeah.
good lord,
Some of those are
That
legit
shit's-
broken.
Well, the one on the game on that collection is actually broken because in the if you recall in 30th anniversary and fighting collection, you can set like the difficulty level.
Yeah.
Right now, bottoming it out still fairly difficult. They don't not read your inputs, is what I'll say. But for one of them, I forget which one, or maybe it's
Yeah, I don't.
is it the one on fighting collection? One of them, that shit's bugged. The difficulty does nothing.
Yeah.
It's just the raw arcade mode, and that was a fucking time.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Like getting through like Bison and whoever the hell would have been before him, like,
and just the psychic damage of
literally-
like you set it to easy and it's still fucking murdering you.
oh yeah, dude, like you're maxing out your damage and bottoming out the thing, and you're still getting rocked. And then like, thank God they have save states, because some of those fight, it's literally like I landed a kick, save state. Like that's what I was doing for some of it. Otherwise, they're like fucking impossible. Maybe now it'd be interesting going back, because like I have a lot more time under my belt.
Sure.
I did not have much time in Street Fighter 6 when I did that.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was all a way for like learning inputs, and then also kind of got me familiar with some of the characters, you know?
Have you tried fighting the level 9 CPUs in 6?
Fuck, in 6? You've been watching those Jaywong videos, huh?
Huh? Yeah, I have.
Yeah, dude. No, I've not.
Well, because the thing that's like why I don't care is it looks like the way you beat them is there's just some sequence of moves that you can just do over and over again and just win. Like once you crack it, you just do it and they go down
makes
as long as you
sense.
can execute.
I mean, that's like any computer, you know, in those games. Like, oh, this fucking boss just does this, and then I pop him.
Yeah.
And we just bait it out.
And there's like, but like, that's the only, like, you have to have it that way. Because if you don't have it,
if you don't,
they
if
fucking,
you don't know
you
it.
can't chip them out. They recover their health.
They recover their health. They like 2-tap you or whatever.
Well, depending.
I saw the one where
like
it was
Zangief with 2 taps you, but
yeah, Zangief is like you're done. You're fucking cooked.
you got one grab off, you're done.
You know what? I will say, so I made Marisa, as you know, but for anyone else, she has. I think her and Zangief are like the only two that have like a higher than normal amount of health, and it's not a ton, right? Like it's not fucking ridiculous, but they're chonky, they're beefy. So playing as her, going up against like a modern jury, hilarious.
Yeah.
She'll fucking 48 combo my ass for like 3% damage. And the honest to God, the part that tilts me is I gotta sit there and watch this shit go down. Like I literally will take a drink of water waiting for my fucking turn for this jury to do nothing. And then I tap her once and do like 20%.
Oh, that's the dream
like,
though. Is just doing
it is very satisfying. No, when it's a jury or trying to think who else has like low. Cammy is pretty Jury is like the standout because like she does so little.
Yeah.
Like all of her combo stuff. Someone did. I forget. I mean, 48 is hyperbole, but someone found like the longest possible jury combo, and it's like. Man, is it 50? I don't think it's 50 hits. Like 37? It's like a shitload of fucking hits compared to everyone else in the game. And it does like nothing. And that's classic jury.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
it's so fucking funny.
Yeah, it's because the way like moves comboing that game, they get reduced. Your damage goes down and down. Or whatever. However it works.
Yeah.
But because that, like, where there are things where, like, if you, it's not worth it comboing into your supers as much in that game because then your super's just not going to deal that much damage.
Yeah. Or like after like perfect parry.
Yeah, exactly.
Has like a big old damage reduction.
Yeah.
Look. We never combo into our supers. We accidentally double tap the motion we wanted, and then they just happen.
Whereas, like in 3, it was like all, like one of the things that was like that I was trying to learn in improving a skill ceiling is like getting regular hits into the combo because that was like a better way to secure it hitting. Like that was a level up moment of turning a regular hit into the super.
I've been for a bit there. I watched Moment 37 like twice or whatever, and then YouTube was like, he's fucking on it. And I was just getting like slammed with like Jay Wong's shorts of like him like getting like almost like getting doubled on it or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, because I forget what game it was, but they added it to a training mode. Like they made parrying all those hits a fucking training trial or whatever.
I think he was doing a video on like a fan made training trial, but also it's in it was in online edition as a training mode thing.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's that one then.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of. I know one of them it was like official.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, he was like fighting against someone, and they started like every time they would do like the whatever enemy noise, like whoop. As soon as a thing happens, and like someone was parrying almost all of it, and they dropped, and he's like clutching his heart.
He's good at he's definitely good at playing it up.
Oh yeah, oh dude, like he's perfect. It was
there's one of them where like the person like needlessly parries the last hit too. And he's like, why did you do that? You didn't need to do that.
Oh, yeah, man. That moment was like, it's funny because like I've seen that so fucking long ago and thought it was incredible, but like way before I cared about fighters.
I saw that like pretty early in getting into 3. That's kind of the thing that made me want to. It's funny because watching that was part of the thing that made me want to play Chun-Li. Even though he loses, but that super's so strong.
Yeah, dude.
Like, and he's doing it from without like building into it at all, just like cross screen. Like it's. The fact that
just,
normally that is fine to do is crazy. Chun-Li's so fucking good at that game.
Hell yeah, man.
Her and Yun are just like completely broken for different reasons.
Yeah. I went through that game with Elena.
Mm-hmm.
She was pretty fun. Dude, her fucking idol animation is wild.
Yeah.
she moving.
Capoeira.
Yeah.
Apparently she was kind of broken in 4. Because she has like a move where she can heal.
Yeah, I was going to say, I actually did see a match of her in 4, like a high level one. And it's like exemplary of her playbook, which is fucking get a hit, and if you get hit, then block until you can heal, and then you heal.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's not how I like that. That would infuriate. I'm impatient. No heals, only send.
That seems.
And then I die.
Yeah, that seems the way Tekken 8 is going.
Hell brother.
Where it's like Bloodborne, where you have recoverable health that you get back when you start hitting again.
Yeah, dude, I'm actually kind of I'm stoked about it. I think it'll be fun. Well, and I mean, Street. That's been like a conversation I've had with a lot. I shouldn't say I've had. I've watched conversations happen.
Sure.
On Discord, of people who know. Well, not that they know better, but they more experience about how like Street Fighter 6 is more offensive. And like the trend is more offensive because as a new player, it feels better when you're hitting people.
Mm-hmm. And
defending is good, technically,
And also, it's more fun to watch.
To block, but oh yeah, totally. Like that's kind of the thing. I mean, even in,
like Tekken Tag 2, which is like kind of was a low point for Tekken. Was like it was way too defensive. As a game, like because partially because your combos could be fucking so ridiculous, so like it was really bad if you got hit once. So nobody wanted to get hit.
Yeah.
So it would be all like maneuvering, like sidestepping constantly, but like at space.
Yeah. I mean, that's not the problem in like 6 for damage or whatever, or offense versus defense, but like it's really about like the drive rush shit, right?
Yeah.
Because like some people get so like what man, I forget what character people were comparing, but they was it Dulcim or someone else? One of the basically someone was like, this character under super specific conditions can do like 4,000 whatever damage or 6,000 or something. They can do what Luke can do by just drive rushing heavy kicking 3 times and then going into super, which is fucking easy as far as inputs go, you know? And it's like that disparity of like, yeah, for some characters, if you get hit, you're just actually fucked. And then for other characters, you can get hit. Not even like, Jury's weak or Marisa is stronger, but like what they can do off of the in-game mechanics is wild.
Yeah.
Wildly different.
Mm-hmm.
I
feel like just Juan had a good, just because I've been watching him, he had a good video about people who've been complaining Neutral is dead or whatever, and he just like showed off a bunch of stuff from older fighting games where they were also just completely broken, just to sit in like similar ways of like, This is not like a new phenomenon. Games just get figured out in certain ways, or like system mechanics can just be fucking busted.
Yeah, like it's and people are like, oh, neutral is dead. Like that. Also, people are always gonna try to skip it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not fun. Send that shit. But like, yeah, no, neutral is dead.
I mean, or it can be alive because a character's just so fucking good at neutral. Like Chun-Li in Third Strike. She's just absurd. Her buttons are just really fucking good.
I need to play you in fucking Third Strike. I think the last time we played that game is just when I was super new.
Yeah.
Still.
Mm-hmm.
So I was getting my ass kicked. I'm ready to get my ass kicked, but feel better about it.
Okay.
I need to revisit that. I was thinking, I was just like, I mean, I guess I could play Sakura, but that's alpha. Mm-hmm. That's not Third Strike.
Well, one of the things he showed that was completely broken was Sakura in Alpha 2, I think.
Yes. I love it. I love it when you fall into a character and they happen to be good with no prior knowledge.
And it was like the
also
the custom combo things, like the what you can do with them is just like fucked up.
Oh, sure. I mean, the reason I gravitated towards Sakura is because I was kind of sick of playing as Ryu.
Sure.
So she was Ryu, but slightly different.
Yeah.
Which I guess Ken technically is, but not different enough. So I was like, yeah, that's like
that's why you play Akuma.
Play.
This is how you get to Akuma.
What if Ryu, but demon?
Yeah, a little more damage. Fucking angled. You can jump, do a fireball that angles down.
Yeah.
And you do more damage, but you have less health. It's all win-win, baby.
I was just watching a thing that I had apparently started a while ago, and it was someone talking about why, not why, they were talking about the ways in which like Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, like surpassed the original and what they did right that made the difference. And one of the things they said was in the first game, like everybody wants to be a Smash clone, but everybody is scared to admit that they're a Smash clone, so they go too far. And then it sucks. And he's like, in this game, like, they just took some of the fun moves from Smash. Like, obviously they're not ripping animations entirely, but, like, the moves have, like, a pretty much one-to-one parody with stuff from Smash in some cases.
Sure.
But they also pulled from other shit. So he's like, look at this. Does this look familiar? And it's fucking Azula, and she's just Akuma. Like, she has the Akuma fireball and shit. He's like, do you know why this is good? Because it's fun, and it's cool. I'm like, yeah, that looks cool. God.
I just think that game kind of looks like shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still like not super great looking, but he did show some music comparisons, and the music is a lot better. The voice acting is a lot better.
I don't doubt that it's better than the first Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl. I'm just saying, like, compared to other video games, I don't know.
Sure. I think it's
didn't entice me.
I plan on picking it up at some point because I got the first one and that was maybe a mistake. But the thing that kind of sold me was he also said a lot of the movement stuff was fixed because they used a different engine. Because in the other one you couldn't walk, you could only run, and it was floaty as hell. And this one, you can actually, like, you have more precise movement. So that was my big thing. But yeah, no, you'll get Akuma. Don't worry. The big prediction is that he's gonna be after everybody else gets kneecapped, he's gonna come in and roll, just absolutely fucking rinse everything.
They did Akuma so dirty in 5 with his like the way his default look was. is so bad.
I can't.
His
I
lion.
can't remember
They
it.
give him like lion mane hair.
Oh hell yeah!
It's like, it's just like I don't know. I just didn't like it. But also, I was done. I was past done with that game by the time he came out anyway. So I never really played with him in that
Sure.
game.
I remember.
Instead, I was all
starting
hyped because I was just played Akuma and Tekken 7.
I was about to say. I remember starting up Tekken 7 and seeing fucking Akuma, and I was like, I mean, I could. I wouldn't have to learn anything. I didn't. I mean, I did actually. I played everybody.
Yeah. I love the way that I'm kind of mad that there isn't, at least at launch, another like character with that kind of with the Street Fighter style, because the way they mapped the Street Fighter style onto Tekken controls, I really liked. But
Dude, I am beyond stoked next time it comes up to play Ryu in Smash.
hell yeah,
Because he was one of the characters I was like, this is fucking dumb. I still can't do inputs. This is lame. And now it's been so long since I played Smash. I'm going to pick it up and be like, fuck. I guess I could do Ryu. I know how he works.
that was also what happened to me with Tekken 7, where it's like I hadn't played Tekken in so long. I didn't know how to play Tekken, but my Street Fighter muscles were so much stronger now.
I could tell because I kicked your ass. I recall.
I don't think that happened.
I kicked your ass with one character. That's the bit I remember. I forget which one.
I don't remember.
Can't remember. He had a 3-letter name. Doesn't narrow it down too much.
Nope.
It wasn't Jin. I don't know.
Lee?
Basic
Law?
looking kung
Lee?
fu guy. I think it was Lee.
Which
Does he do just kind of basic like martial arts, like kung fu stuff? He doesn't have any weird gimmicks.
everyone has
you know
weird
what?
gimmicks.
Tekken 7. Show me it was not Lee. Nope, it wasn't her. Leo? Not
Law?
Leo. That's not a thing. It was Law. I think it was Law.
Yeah. Their Bruce Lee character.
Bruce Lee character. I said basic kung fu. Like, that's close enough. Yeah, no, you felt silly. Even when I was like testing people and I tested like when I was going through everybody and I was like, I feel like a god. Just mashing, I'm hitting shit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. No man, I'm excited for Tekken 8.
I'm so excited.
Excited for that. Excited for the fucking my other friend who actually had I could have been playing Tekken with him, but I just wasn't into it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one I actually played. I played Tekken. You told me which one it would be. 3 Game Boy Advance. I think it was 3. Got like
Game Boy Advance was a port
something.
of 3. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember playing that and I liked it. And part of that was because it had Yoshimitsu, my favorite Soul Calibur character.
Hell yeah.
So I like recognized that. That was fun. But he also had it for PlayStation 2, and I like just never played it with him or don't remember playing it. Because our other friend who I talked to recently was like, yo, I remember playing Tekken 3 all the time with him. Like, I didn't even know he owned it. But he said he might get Tekken 8, so that'll be fun. I can kick his ass.
Nice.
Because he has not been playing fighting games. That will be destruction.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if he's on board with that. It might have to be a little more gentle. We'll feel that one out when we get there. Or he goes ham on it and then he just gets good the way I did. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know when you're about to get someone addicted to a genre. You know it's bad because, you know, when I see a Naruto game on sale, and I'm like, it is a fighter.
Sort of. It's an arena
That's how you-
fighter.
that-
It's kind of a different thing, but
The hell is an arena fighter? What's that?
like you run around in 3D space.
Oh. Boo. I thought it was just a 2D fighter.
No.
Not even a 3D fighter? Well, now we gotta
I don't know what
watch gameplay just to understand that 3D fighter would be like Soul Calibur Tekken.
No, you have way more ability to just run around.
Ugh.
Goes back to like Virtual On, which is like a mech game kind of. For Dreamcast era. It's like the Budokai Tenkaichi games for Dragon Ball. It's like that.
See, that's like a weird.
I would call them.
Played
They're
the
more
shit out
like sandbox games than fighting games, because the characters also like are not that unique from each other. But the fun of it is the giant roster of characters you can play with.
Sure.
Just like because they're not that unique, they could just have everyone.
Yeah.
And those Naruto games are
that's
good
sick.
because their story modes are incredibly involved with like bespoke, like boss things or whatever, just like different mechanics that aren't the
Yeah.
sprinkled in between.
I mean,
and like QTE
that'd be
events,
unfortunate.
spectacle stuff.
yeah.
Like Azura's Wrath. Azura's Wrath is like the pinnacle of it because that's its own thing and it's not tied to an anime.
I mean, yeah, anything not tied to Naruto specifically would be an upgrade. Yeah. I'm gonna go look up fucking gameplay after this though, just to like get a grasp on what an.
But you can
arena
play with
fighter
like
is.
4 people at once or something, I think.
Oh, that's
I think
wild.
you can do multiple people at once, which is like the big appeal.
Not for me. I don't know that many people.
That's fair. I've never played that way.
I
don't think I've ever played any other person in that game. I've played with the Budokai Dragon Ball games with people though, with friends.
See, I remember playing Budokai 3, but I swear it was 2D.
Yeah, Budokai is 2D. Budokai Tenkaichi or Tenkaichi Budokai.
Oh, it's like a whole separate thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those games, they only have similar names in the US. Like I think the Budokai games in Japan were like just called Dragon Ball Z. Like it just like didn't even have a subtitle or something. And the Tenkaichi games had like Sparking Neo or whatever. And that's why the new Tenkaichi game is like Sparking something, I think, that they're making.
Gotcha. Yeah, Spark. Yeah.
Yeah. There was there's a video, Maximilian dude, he was doing like ranking best fighting games of all time, and he like was asking his chat for recommendations for like what's the best arena fighter, and they said Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, and then when he was like narrowing it down, he was like, okay, what's the problem? What's the weakness of this game? And they said gameplay. And he was like, all right, taking it off the list. he like leaned back and he's like, all right, I didn't do it. You said it. I asked what was wrong with this and you said gameplay.
Gameplay. That's hilarious.
Yeah, this is a great game, except for, the game mechanics are pretty simple. All things told. But that's kind of what's good about them, is like they just let that game be what it is and built on top of it multiple times.
I do. You reminded me of another funny thing that I saw in the Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl video.
Mm-hmm.
because the dude was comparing it, like some of the stuff that you can do is similar to Smash, right? Like you have your wave dashing or whatever. But like because they understand that, like they're building off of Smash, it's like a thing that you can just do. And this dude is comparing it to Smash and like how Nintendo is like behind the times or whatever. I'm like, motherfucker, Nintendo doesn't want people doing that.
It's not about being behind the times.
First, like you're talking about Melee where it wasn't fucking intentional. And then you're talking about the games after Melee where they tried to beat it into the ground and were like kind of successful, not really. Like Nintendo just doesn't want people playing that game that way.
They added tripping specifically to stop people from playing those games competitively to Brawl. And then they gave up on that.
Yeah. I guess technically Smash was like my first fighting game.
Sure.
Generally speaking.
Sure.
I had that OG 64.
Hell yeah. I love that game.
Played that. Dude, I mean again, I got lucky cuz like my brother was also into that shit and the age difference wasn't huge. So like we played between N64, between Smash 64, Melee, Brawl, 4 and Ultimate, we probably chunked in like several thousand hours of time, you know?
Yeah.
And that shit was so good. And then going to Melee was like fucking mind-blowing. That shit was incredible.
So that's like a gap for me. Like I never played that one. Like I played the original a shitload with friends, and then they the friends who owned a GameCube, they just never bought Melee.
That's wild.
And then in college, we got into N64 Smash for nostalgia, and then Brawl came out, and then we just got super into Brawl. Like I just never had my only experiences were with Melee were like going to anime conventions and playing it in like the gaming room, and it was the most, and like the people who would play it there, the way they would play it was like the most miserable gaming experience of my fucking life. It made me hate that game in particular just because of like the people I encountered who played it and how they played it. It's just like fun. They like just found the way to suck all the fun out of that game.
Oh yeah, the competitive way to play that game is miserable in my opinion. Yeah.
And that's like a game I played like the first one in particular. Like I played it enough that it was like seeing the code and like was like, oh, you just like you become godlike at throwing people. It's like and like really good at nests or whatever. You just fucking own. Yeah. Just like
the funny thing
grabbing all the time.
The funny thing going back to the 64 game is that I forgot that you don't have like I'm pretty sure because it's been a while since I went back to it even. I thought you don't have charged smash attacks, right? Okay, so I'm not the only crazy one.
I don't fucking remember.
I don't think you
I think you do.
Is it just maybe not as much or something? I remember going back because in Melee and Forward, like you can hold that shit for a long time and get it nice and juiced. And I remember going back, like it didn't seem that same way, but I remembered it that way. So I was like, "Am I crazy?"
It has to exist because like with Ness, he has the baseball bat if you like charge it up with his attack, right? Like there's definitely different degrees to his attack, but I don't think it's as long.
Smash attacks. Doesn't say anything about charging. I don't think they charged. I mean, based on this, I don't think it's like charged the same.
Okay, they're smash attacks, but they don't charge.
They're smash attacks, but yeah. They're still smash, but they don't do like the. You don't hold. You're not fucking Roy holding that shit for.
No. Yeah.
100 years.
That's it. If you press the direction and the button at the same time, you'll do the stronger version.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah. And that was such a thing in Melee then forward that I just didn't like and it felt natural. So in my head, like when I went back, I remember being like, "What? That's wild."
Whereas I'm still mostly, I think of it as that it's playing it that way. Of you hit the direction and the button at the same time to do the thing, to do the heart attack.
Yeah.
Not standing there charging up a thing.
Yeah.
That always kind of feels bad to me.
Oh, it feels so good though, because you charge up and then you hit them really hard. But actually, they fuck you before you can.
Yeah, that's that one.
But the payoff when it works.
But when I want an attack to happen and I'm accidentally charging, and then it fucks me over.
That's why you just use the C stick. Duh.
Gross.
Look at this. He doesn't even play competitively.
No. Also, the other reason I didn't like Melee is because they nerfed Kirby, and Kirby was my favorite. And
Kirby's fucking dumb in 64.
Yeah. And he's fine in the later games, but in Melee he's like particularly weak.
Yeah. My favorite thing in Smash is still the time that a dude won with Yoshi. I watched the whole there was like a 50-minute documentary on this dude, like the only competitive Yoshi player. Because like Yoshi was like D tier or whatever. This dude single-handedly bumped his rating by like 50 points or whatever.
Sure.
Because it's like a 4-point whatever or something scale.
I don't know,
like,
but okay, I get it.
Like he shifted Yoshi's ranking because he was doing well enough, and it's like about his journey to win, and like with his D tier character or whatever. It was fucking hilarious. I mean, the documentary was really good.
Yeah,
it's like cool following his journey and stuff, and like the number of times that he got close and everything else. I don't know.
So I had you play some arcade modes.
Yeah, you did. I played one of them. I played both of them, but
it's partly because Marvel vs. Capcom 2 in particular is a game I had on PS2 that I would just grind the arcade mode over and over again. That's how I played that game.
Fucking madness.
And I would just beat it with different characters.
Yeah.
And, I got pretty good at beating the arcade mode.
Oh yeah. Marvel. So I did Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2. Yeah. At Hank's recommendation. Not that I haven't played them before, but just doing the arcade mode.
Yeah.
You said the bosses were cool, so I'm like, all right.
It's true.
I got through like what I was ready. I'm like, I don't know how this is gonna go because like my arcade experience is like Street Fighter 2. These are way easier in general, and even the first game, it felt like they're like, oh, we're gonna let you get to the final boss, and that's where we're gonna take your money. Because like I got there super easily, and then I got past the first stage, and then the second stage. I got fucking rinsed.
Phase 2 Onslaught just fucking murders you.
Dude, that's why I messaged you, and I was like, is there only 2 phases to this boss?
Yeah.
You're like, yeah. I'm like, sweet, I'm out. I came, I saw. I didn't conquer, but I did the other 2. And it was cool. Like, that boss fight was fucking... Onslaught is fucking cool. He's beefy. The second phase is super cool.
Yeah.
I did not. I didn't even make it to the boss in 2.
What characters did you play into? What was your team?
I think I generally was doing like Jin and it's not War Machine in that, it's Iron Man.
Well,
Jin,
they're
Iron Man.
both in that game.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I think I was doing Iron Man because I couldn't fucking find War Machine. The roster's too big. I forget.
I mean, that's the main appeal of that game is the giant roster.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think it was Jin, Psylocke, and Iron Man. It was like the last couple attempts or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really just got like I also didn't know going into the second game that they took away the 6 buttons and they made it like you have 4 buttons and then the other 2 are for like assists.
Yeah,
which was they took my buttons. Once I figured out what the hell was happening, it was fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they start out like the arcade was funny in that because it's not like they necessarily get way more difficult. The difficulty is just that the farther in you get, the more they fucking mash the assist button. So literally by the last fight, I'm getting hit by more assist attacks than anything else because just like bam assist, bam assist, bam assist, super assist, kapah.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah!
And I'm like, this is just not fucking compelling at all. Like I'm having a meh time. Without the assists, that game would be fucking incredible to me.
You just have to
that you know what that wasn't what
spam
broke
beam
me.
attacks and punish the hell out of them.
That wasn't I was trying. That wasn't what broke me. And this is what I was saying right before we smashed record because I was burning content. The fact that you can get so vertical is not my cup of tea. And I'm certainly not just saying that because fucking Dr. Doom went up in the air and did his beam attack repeatedly from the air, and I couldn't fucking see myself, and I couldn't jump that high, and then I died. I'm certainly not saying it because of that. That would be a one-off thing and immature and something I need to learn how to deal with in the game. I'm joking. It was fucking horseshit. I fucking hit that X, and then I looked up the final boss on YouTube.
That's funny.
I already get pissed enough when people jump too much in Street Fighter 6. I'm not here to fucking play hops. I'm here to fight. Get out of the ground, bitch.
Just watch some Virtua Fighter 2 jumps.
Yeah, you said they're real special.
Yeah, there's some good. That's a game where you when you play it for the first time and you like do a jump kick and you're like, why am I floating in the why am I on the moon?
I mean, that was the first when we tested out Samurai Showdown earlier. That game is pretty hoppy.
Mm-hmm.
They got big jumps. But the funny part there is that the screen doesn't follow you. So you're just like right on the edge.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
No,
Marvel has bigger character sprites.
Yeah.
Unless you're a Street Fighter character.
I'll need to go back to 3, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, because I think the last time we played that game, I also had like not much of it under my belt, though. It is also kind of jarring going to that 3D style instead of the sprites.
Yeah, I've just never loved how 3 looks.
Yeah, it kind of looks like ass compared to the colors and fun of the other ones.
Yep.
I wish there were more sprite games, dude. Like, I get that they're fucking expensive to make, but man, do they look good.
Yeah. Third Strike looks so fucking good. Like, those sprites are so high quality.
Yeah. And even like going to the alpha ones, like by Alpha 3 or whatever, like those I really liked.
Mm-hmm.
Like super colorful and nice.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
I think I really like getting the some of the later Capcom versus SNK versus games, specifically because the Chun-Li in those is closer to Chun-Li in Third Strike than Chun-Li in Alpha, which she is in all the Marvel vs. Capcom games.
Yeah.
And I just like, and that version of Chun-Li is just better. Has better buttons and
nice.
Like we played Capcom vs SNK Chaos a little bit, and the Chun-Li in that is like chonky in a way that I really like.
I don't remember which one that is offhand. We played so many fucking games the last couple of days. That was all kind of blur.
I mean, it's the SNK game we played that had Street Fighter characters in it. Where they played like KOF characters, but
barely helps. Yeah,
they all have Freddy Krueger in them, and you hate him.
No, it's because like you hit random or like you run out of time and you just get him. He's always there. He's always fucking there.
It is fucking hilarious that happened to both of us.
Yeah,
and it happened to me twice. It happened to me twice, and then it happened to
I'm vetoing his ass. We're not allowed to use him in Salt the Wound. Intentionally, at least. God apparently has decided that we will use him.
Terrible. His name Choi or something?
Yeah,
I don't even know.
Something
I
like
just
that.
think of his tiny Freddy Krueger.
I was worried that Nicotine in Samurai Showdown was also going to be like that, but he wasn't. He was pretty good. He was normal. He was just short. Anyway, I don't know that I got a whole ton more to say, honestly.
Okay, we can close it out.
Yeah. It was just fun.
Fighting games are good.
Yeah, dude. It's just I'm so hyped on it. And I'm so late, so like there's so much to explore. Been very fun.
Yeah. The only annoying part for me is like there's a period of fighting games that are like kind of the ones there's a period that I didn't play a ton of, but I like own, because it was like when I would buy fighting games but then not have people to play with or whatever.
Yeah.
But like that's like 360 era stuff, and like that's like the hardest to actually play now.
Yeah,
with the ones that didn't come to Steam, or in some cases like Street Fighter Cross Tekken did come to Steam, but it's not, you can't buy it on Steam anymore because it's a Games for Windows Live game.
Yeah. I mean, that's
so even if you own it, you have to do a whole ton of workarounds to get it to work at all.
I mean, that was like like Mortal Kombat 9 was on Steam and it got delisted or whatever. So like you can buy a code for like way more than that game would be to just buy on Steam if it were there.
Yeah.
Like the other one, the funny thing is that I played a shitload of Soul Calibur 2. I think 3 because I had GameCube and stuff. And then 3 I just kind of missed because that era, you know, I didn't have a PlayStation or anything else. And then I had a 360, so I played quite a bit of 4, which is funny because for Talim, I think of that design for her and not 2. So when I was like, why does her design in 2 look so fucking weird? It's because I had those mixed. But like, you can't fucking. I was like, oh, it was on PlayStation, right? Like, maybe you can play it on, like, PS5. No, you can't, I'm pretty sure. And it has to be, like, because of licensing shit. Because they had the Star Wars characters in it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I don't know. Yeah, that's annoying. There is definitely, like, that era is, like, kind of locked. Unless I get a 360, I guess.
Or a modern, like, Xbox is better about that stuff working on modern consoles than PS5. Like PS5, it's like a crapshoot what is there, but like all those 360 era games I think work on Xbox Series consoles.
Can I still
And in some
buy?
cases, I think they have better loading times than they did originally.
Hell yeah.
Rumor has it, Tekken Tag 2 loads better on Series consoles than it ever did before.
That's funny.
I don't have that console, so I cannot confirm, but this is what I have heard, I think.
Yeah.
The rumors. But that version of Tekken Tag 2 doesn't have Mario costumes in it. So
yeah, those
the Wii U version.
Yeah, those looked pretty wild. I remember you
can't dress up Kazuya like Link. Dumb. Fighting games are fun and stupid.
Yeah.
And the stupid is part of the fun.
Sometimes. Oh, totally. Yeah.
What's your favorite non-Street Fighter fighting game franchise so far?
I mean, it kind of feels like a cop-out because it's still Capcom, but like Darkstalkers is actually really the animations are so fucking good.
Sure.
Those are just very fun. They're very fun to watch. The game where like my heart is still like Soul Calibur. Like playing that game just feels like I'm home.
Sure.
Even as I'm about to perfect your fucking ass, and then you do one move that sends me off the ledge. I'm back. That's what it's about.
That game.
They're too good, dude. That shit is perfect.
Soul Calibur 2, it is funny because that is a game where like my friends had it and I didn't own it, so I was kind of never as good at it as them. But then, like years later, I picked up 2 and 3 on PS2, and I like played those games, and I like started to understand how they worked better than I ever did when I was younger. And then, like years later, I played my friends again, just like we were hanging out sometime, and I fucking destroyed them. And I laughed at them in a way like I've never laughed at someone's face in my life. Like I was so... Because I like beat him in a mirror match with his character. And I just cackled in like an extremely...
That's hilarious.
way.
Oh, dude, that's great.
In a way I still think about and feel kind of bad about, but also like it was pure. Like that was how I felt.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. That's too good.
Anyway, SaltCirclePodcast@gmail.com, SaltCirclePod on Twitter, Anchor.fm/SaltCircle. We're on YouTube at SaltCircle. And I'm on Twitter at Comic Panels.
Is this coming out before or after Salt the Wound?
Probably around the same time.
I mean, if it's gonna be
or
before,
after.
if it's gonna be before, we should put a little thing in here. Do the teaser.
But I don't know. Fine.
Well, then
Fine,
no. Yeah, right now, decide.
I feel like Salt the Wound's going to be out before this.
All right, then I hope you all enjoyed Salt the Wound. If it's not out yet, look forward to Salt the Wound. I'm not telling you what it is.
There will be more. There will be more than one episode of Salt the Wound, hopefully. Theoretically.
Yes. No, there will be. It was like 24 minutes.
When will you ever have the time?
I have 24 minutes.